My name is Moze, the president of our city. Coming from Aurora, Illinois. There's no particular side I rep. I'm from the west side, I'm from the east side. I'm probably one of the only individuals that you would know or meet that would say that, but I represent Aurora in its entirety. I have family from both sides, so I can never just be one-sided. It's much bigger than anybody can imagine, but it's very important that we rep Aurora as a city and as a whole. I wrote a rap one time, and I wanted it to be different from just the A-Town persona that we had, because I knew Atlanta was already A-Town. So I wrote Our Town, Our City in one of my raps, and it was something that I didn't tell a lot of people. It's just something I had built up, you know, and I had another artist that had a familiar feeling with that, and we got with another producer named Track Frost, and we went to Atlanta. This is way back, it's probably like 2004. And we did a track in Atlanta, Track Frost produced the beat. We had another artist on there, and we literally created something out of that. And when we came back to Aurora, it grew within just our age bracket, and then after that, I literally tried to dedicate everything I had to just promoting our city, AURCITY, because it's better for us to be individuals and not be in a shadow of Atlanta. So our city is the dominant name for Aurora, and I hope everybody can start using that, and we can really get away from the A-Town persona and start repping something on our own. Mozella, it was a build-up process. When I was younger, I was like maybe 15 years old, maybe 14. I heard Jay-Z say, Mo better, Mo cheddar, flows knock the man off your polo sweater. And I was like, Mo better is a dope name, right? So I ran with that. Like, I literally built everything from that. I was writing a rap one day, and I put Mozy Wozy in it. And one of my brothers, Bobby Pryor, seen it, and he was like, oh, is that your name, Mozy Wozy? That's a dope name. I said, yeah, it is my name. I just wanted to be identified as that afterwards, because it was so dope to him. Moze is just a name that I keep. It gets broken down to just Moze, M-O-Z-E. My mother passed away in 2004, and her middle name is Ella, and my big brothers always used to call her Ella to be funny. And when she passed away in 2004, I took just something that was an insider to our family, the Ella part. I took that and I put that at the end of my name, so Mozella, because I wanted her to be remembered in my music forever, and that was just a big deal to me. My musical influence, number one, was Jay-Z. That was like when I first started listening to music, as far as like being able to listen to whole albums. The Hard Knock Life album really stood out to me, and after that I just really I was heavily influenced by his flow and how he came up, his origin story. It spoke volumes to me. I also love Beanie Siegel. One of my other favorite artists is what you would call a local artist, but really he's much bigger than that. Young Weez, I know all his raps. He's my brother, and there's no bias in it because he's just dope. I listen to a lot of R&B, old school soul music. Luther Vandross, the Stylistics, the Isley Brothers, just a lot of different type of vibes is in R&B and old school soul music, so I find a lot of inspiration from that. There's so many other names I can name. AMG is Elite Music Gang. AILITE. It's Aurora, Illinois Elite. That's AURCITY. Aurora, Illinois Elite. It stands for the best of the best from Aurora, Illinois. And anybody that feels like their talent is dominant enough, or it speaks volumes enough, they can be part of the crew, they can rep the crew. You just have to be talented, you have to believe in yourself. So Elite Entertainment is Aurora, Illinois Elite, and we started this way back probably in 2006, and right now it's just something that is part of the family. It's our dynamic, is family dynamic. We all come from Aurora, Illinois. We all believe in each other's talent, and we just want to take it to the next level and push the culture in the right direction. We come from a city in Aurora that a lot of people are in competition with each other, and they shouldn't be. You know, no one should be in competition within the city because we haven't made it big yet. So it's more important that we can stand as individuals and also compartmentalize that and really be dynamic, that we could take on other big cities. We could take on any other city competitively as far as talent goes, and we don't have to be at each other's necks. We can work together until we find a place where, okay, we're making this money now. Anybody want to, you know, do something, we got the money behind us. Anybody want to create songs, we got the talent behind us. And also, we don't have to really be like anyone else. Everybody often finds a way to copy the industry and be like the industry. So when a lot of music came out of Chicago, people mimic that and they want to be like that. But it's also important to find your own individual style and create music in your own way. You don't have to be like anybody else. Your vibe is your vibe. Your production is your production. If it's important to you to create something that is original under your own light. From the bottom, we come from a place where when we was like 18, 19, we couldn't do shows in Aurora at all. We literally couldn't get into the bars because we were too young. At the age of 21, it was a different story. We usually had to go to, it's a guy named, they call him Wet Black, Michael Ramos. He was like top tier. He was part of Savage Pen Productions. And he was top tier and throwing these shows. He was really in the scene. Still, in my eyes, a legend. But he had shows at North Beach. North Beach was way out, you know, near Chicago. And one day I just asked him, I said, man, please give me the opportunity to do a show, or please give me the opportunity to rock the mic, just one song, and I'll prove to you that I'm one of the best. And he gave me the opportunity. I had no idea that he would. I just had the confidence that I could do it, and he let me do it. And from there, we literally built. Once I tasted that stage, really, and as far as my age, being like 21 years old, I took it to the next level. I wanted to do shows in Aurora. I wanted to do shows everywhere, and we really built the culture downtown Aurora, Midtown Pub, La Quinta. We built the culture of East Las Marias. We did all of these things, and to the point where it was so big that it was getting packed. They wouldn't even let people in. I mean, everybody. We did shows. It was AMG, Trilogy Mafia, Crazy Threats, Fox River Boys, Money Power Music, Crunk Boy Entertainment. It's so many different. I may be forgetting people, but there's so many of us doing things together that we realize that this is a family. We all a family in Aurora music, to the point where, you know, we got shut down a lot of times because we had the places too packed, and now all of the politics is playing into Aurora music scene now. So, you know, it's kind of a dry spot. We did shows downtown at Gremlin Studios. There was points in time where I was one of the only people throwing shows and hosting shows for artists downtown Aurora, and we kept it alive. We kept the music scene alive. Now it's kind of a drought, so we have to figure out a way to overcome these politics and get the music scene cracking again. My favorite rappers, when I say top five, I don't mean like putting them in a bracket in which one is better than the other. Just whom I listen to is, on my playlist I got Jay-Z, I got Beanie Siegel, I got Fab, I got Lloyd Banks, I got Scarface, and I have Young Weez. Like, I have to listen to all his music because I'm like his hype man. When we do shows, I'm his hype man. I gotta listen to all his music. And then I have a lot of R&B. I got a lot of old school R&B. But as far as my top five that I listen to, that's pretty much it. Like, I just try to keep it in the box with lyricism. A lot of people may laugh at it, but this is the stone cold truth. I got all the Harry Potter movies. Harry Potter is my favorite. All the series of Harry Potter. I got all the Lord of the Rings movies. As far as the gangster movies that I got, my favorite gangster movies are Menace to Society, Casino, Paid in Full. I just have a lot of movies, like, as far as that. And I mean, as far as the mob movies go, Casino definitely is one of those big movies that you can learn from in life, that if you really put your guard down when it comes to certain situations, anybody can come and get you. It's real, arguably the realest thing in life, point blank period. A lot of people underestimate the fact that your thoughts become things. If you think it, you can achieve it. If you think it, it will come to you. We talk a lot about karma and how things that you put out there will come and find you in the end. You have to really be conscious of that. The law of attraction is basically, if you think it, you can make it happen. If you believe in it enough, you can make it happen. It is a real deal thing. And you have to be able to absorb the energy that the universe is bringing you. Feel it, understand the frequencies, understand the energy, understand the environment that you have in a room. When you step into a room, understand there's a certain energy there. If your body is telling you, if your mind is telling you, if your spirit and your heart is telling you to get out of that room, you should get out of that room. But if your vibe is telling you that this is a good room to be in, this is incredible energy to be around, you should definitely use that to your advantage, and you should definitely build off that. You're going to find people in the world that you shouldn't be around, and that is a real vibe. If your heart is telling you something, you feel this in your stomach, that you have to get away from it, you should. If your vibe is telling you to build on this situation, these are good people to be around, you should build on that. And you should continuously build on that. If you think it, it will happen. There's no respect. People don't have to respect the top dogs in the game anymore. They can literally open their mouth and diss anybody. Like, just for example, even 10 years ago, there's no one that would step up that's younger than Eminem that would diss him. Like, it was out of the question. You have to be able to respect what Eminem brought to the table. Right now, somebody like MGK, who has his own individual fan base and his own individual base of people who like him, as far as, all right, he makes this particular music, they may not even listen to Eminem. But right now, since you feeling yourself, as far as someone like MGK, you could diss somebody like Eminem. The generational gaps is, the respect is lost in these generational gaps. People don't respect the elder statesmen in the game no more. Literally, when we were coming up, you couldn't diss anybody that you weren't more talented than. So if you were less talented, it was noticeable. So you couldn't come for Biggie, or you couldn't come for Jay-Z, or you couldn't come for Nas just being a artist that just has his individual fan base. You got to come at them and you got to be good. When 50 Cent did it, he did it the correct way. He dissed every last person, but he had some substance behind what he was doing, and it helped him blow up. Right now, you can diss somebody today that's a top tier MC, and it's gonna go viral. So literally, you can do anything as far as music goes now. There's no respect in the game. Late Registration. One of Kanye's best albums, point blank period. People want the old Kanye. I say artists develop within time. Late Registration is one of those albums where you can vibe it all the way through. The production on here is what people should set their standards at when it comes to producing tracks, because this is when he started getting into playing with all of these sounds, where these is instrumentation with this. As a producer, if you up and coming as a producer, listen to this and listen to his following albums after this particular album, and understand the development of his production, because that stands out to us as MCs, and as producers, this has to stand out to you. Late Registration, because his flow in the production on here, it flows so well that if you're going to create a hip hop album, this is one of the starts. This is one, as a producer who makes beats and raps, this is where you should start at. Late Registration. The Black Album, this is when Jay-Z is saying his farewell, and everybody thought he was going to retire for real, but I knew he wasn't. I knew he would do something after this. I knew that this album was only something that he dedicated to the music scene, because he wanted to say goodbye and focus on the business side of things. But once again, as far as the production goes, with these particular projects, the people that he's worked with in the songs, December 4th, what more can I say? The things he had Just Blaze do on this album was things that Just Blaze wasn't doing before. So when you listen to the Black Album, pay attention to the instrumentation in here, because he really went into depth with these beats, and he went in depth with the flow, because he really created this album as if he would never rap again. I knew it would be different. I knew he was coming back. Everybody don't like Kingdom Come, the album that came after this, but I love that album. It really spoke volumes to me. Now this right here, top 5 hip hop albums of all time, be it a group, be it a duo, be it a solo MC, one of the greatest albums of all time. This right here is when Kanye had his coming out party right here on this album. Now people don't know what I mean by that, but these beats that he put on this album was truly his coming out party, because what he did here, he really went above and beyond, and Jay-Z's flow reached a different level on this album. So when you listen to songs like Song Cry and You Don't Know, and You Don't Know is produced by Just Blaze. So him and Just Blaze, Kanye and Just Blaze had a wonderful time on this album. This is arguably my second favorite Jay-Z album. Reasonable Doubt is number 1. This would be second. Dynasty probably 1A. The Dynasty album, we don't even want to talk about that. It's just a whole different platform. But these albums right here, if you're trying to be a producer or an MC, don't only pay attention to the lyrics, you got to pay attention to the production. If you want to create an album, create it fluidly. The best album out of these 3, by far, The Blueprint. If you don't, as an MC, if you don't have this, you should go buy it right now. Stilo is very much family. It's a family narrative for him and I think that as far as him just asking to collaborate was a big deal, because he reaches a different dynamic than I reach. He's younger, he's incredibly talented, and his flow is not to be joked with. He's actually one of those people that when you hear him over a record, you have to fear his flow. You have to know that he's going to bring his best every time. The only thing is that he's so humble with it. As far as when it comes to his artistry, people should fear his flow. And once he gets to that level where he's going to push it to the next level, and he knows that he's a dominant MC, I fear for the world, man. He's going to really take over. He asked me to do some narrative things on his project, and I feel like it was an honor. I was blessed to work with him, and I support everything that he does. As long as he keeps going up, he's going to be one of the best entertainers I've ever seen. In my personal opinion, you don't have to like it, but I know talent, and this guy's potential is through the roof. The writing process that I go through personally, I can't speak for anybody else, but just for myself, I don't do mixtape records. I do albums. So the creative process as far as writing goes, there's a particular notebook that I have for albums. So if I'm going to create an album, I write the process of doing 3 songs. You write the whole playlist that you're going to have for these songs that you're going to create. It's going to be 15 songs. I start writing from the first song to the second to the third, writing out every single last song the way that I have it listed. And then before the process of writing even begins, I don't get random beats, I don't get internet beats. All of the production is in-house from my producers. Track Frost, Young Weez, A Fresh, Ty Maestro. I get beats from Young Meal. All of these productions, all of the beat production is set out already, so I pick out about 15 beats on my own, maybe 15 to 18 beats on my own. Then I start the process from there. From the first song that inspires me, to the singles, to all the album records. I write complete albums. I don't do mixtape. I don't do that. It's a waste of time, money, and beats. Just wasting your time sitting there making mixtape. It's a waste of a whole album. You might as well do something that can be beneficial to you and your creative process. Yo, Moze the President checking in live with Cosmic Stereos. Incredible media, incredible videography. Get with him. He knows what he's doing. Shout out our city. We doing it big, man. Never forget, this is where it started at. And I want y'all to know, even 5 years from now, this is where it started at. And this man is going to be a big deal. Much love.
But I'm so tired of waiting as the game digress. Weak rappers get more respected. None harder than the bars I'm manifesting. Hardy, hardy, hard. Super villain laugh at them, knowing time is of the essence. Watch me take over the planet.